Hello, I'm Sharon Zinke, author of Rime Magic, and this tutorial is for teachers, parents, and tutors to show you how to make a huge difference in your students' reading ability. This is a fun, easy way for students to become proficient in word recognition. Now, we know that reading is all about comprehension. So we always want our students to start with comprehension and then pay closer and closer attention to the print. These kindergartners are already reading. What are they reading? Well, they're reading the pictures. They're starting with comprehension. And then they make closer and closer approximations to print when they look at their books in a small group situation with their teachers. Some students need very little, if any, formal phonics instruction, and some need more. But most students who do have difficulty at the word level have experienced phonics programs over and over again that haven't worked for them. So I'm really excited to show you a system that actually works for the students who need it and gives every student a strong foundation in word recognition. With Rime Magic, they can make years' growth in months or even weeks. Then they can participate successfully in all the curriculum throughout the day. And when primary teachers just do 5 minutes of Rime Magic each morning, their students move into the upper grades with strong foundational skills. Rime Magic works exactly the same way for any student, regardless of age. So, why Rime Magic? What makes it so powerful? Well, first of all, it's based on research and strong data. We now know from onset rhyme research that it's much easier to separate words between the onset and the rhyme than it is to separate it between phonemes. So, for example, the 3 phonemes in cat, we don't want to separate them all. K, at. We want to separate cat into k and at. Each syllable has an onset and a rhyme, or just a rhyme. The onset is just the consonant or consonant blend at the beginning of the word, and the rhyme is the vowel to the end of the syllable. We also are getting more and more data on Rime Magic itself, and you can find those studies on the Rime Magic website. We're getting fast results that really surprise us more and more. Fast results for any kind of response to intervention. Fast results for English language learners transitioning to English reading. And really fast results for special education students with learning disabilities. But the best thing of all is that we can prevent the whole problem in the primary grades. It's both prevention and intervention. And it's 5 minutes alongside any program. 5 minutes each morning in a first grade classroom with lots and lots of practice in the act of reading. I say alongside any program. A lot of times teachers are already using a phonics program. I tell them, keep using what's working for you, and then slip Rime Magic in for 5 minutes next to it and watch what happens. Or small group or one-on-one intervention in the upper grades. 5 to 10 minutes of Rime Magic and the rest of the time reading. Really fast results. What we want is strong foundational skills before the end of 3rd grade. Another thing that makes it so wonderful for teachers and students is the high engagement. This is what it looks like in every K through 2 classroom that I go into. Very high enthusiasm from students and teachers. And then what about the older kids? The older students don't look like this. we know. They still love it. And the way that the reason they love it is because they see right away that it's working. So this, for example, is an 8th grade girl who got her special ed teacher to do this with her for 5 minutes during her lunchtime whenever they could get together. And just a few weeks later, she was reading the novels along with everybody else. Really fast results. I think the biggest reason Rime Magic works so well is that it's a completely different approach to phonics instruction. It's immersion, not the mastery of a sequence of separate skills. We're not starting with short A and then short E and going along in a sequence. It's not today we're going to focus on OW. We're mixing all of the sounds and the skills together. It's random daily immersion for 5 to 7 minutes. I like to call it access to the middle of the word. Most phonics programs start with cat, sat, rat, mat. That gives them no access to the middle of a longer word. We're still starting with the at and the and the ip, but I want them to see the at in the word splattered. I want them to see the ip in slippery, because that's the key. The magic rhyme is the key. The focus is on the rhyme in a longer word. We're not focusing on any particular phonic element, just immersion in all of it each day for 5 minutes. The mastery then comes from the reading. Now, how does Rime Magic work? I'm going to take you through the 7 steps of Rime Magic. The first 3 steps are just to introduce it. We just do that on the first day and then never again. Every day we're going to do steps 4 and 5. Every day for 5 minutes. Step 6 is not until step 4 and 5 are mastered, and step 7 is the power packs, and we'll get to those in a few minutes. These are the 7 steps. The first 3 steps, as I said, are just to introduce it. Reviewing short vowels, if they need it. Spelling 1-syllable words with magic rhymes. We don't want 1-syllable words to be done except to introduce it. And then we're going to add some common endings before we start step 4 and 5. So I'm going to show you those first. Step 1, the way I introduce short vowels is with this. I've been doing this all my life for many years. Apple, elephant, but any way that you want to introduce short vowels is fine. And only do this if they need it. We're doing it with the K1 students and others who need it. Step 2, and it's done quickly, just very quickly. Just run through it quickly and then go right on to step 2. Step 2, we're going to show the students our magic rhymes. And I tell them, I want them to say the magic rhyme with me 3 times. So I say 1, 2, 3. I say 1, 2, 3 quick because I want everybody in unison. Even if there's just one student, I want them right with me. So 1, 2, 3, at, and we say that together. I wait for them to start before I chime in with them. It's important that they hear your voice over the top of theirs. In case they aren't saying it correctly, then they hear it correctly. So it's 1, 2, 3, at, ub, and then we spell a word. I'll say, if we were going to spell scrub, like I'm going to scrub the top of my desk, how would we spell that? 3 letters in front. What would it start with? And then if they know those letters, they're going to say S-C-R-U-B. Now, if they don't, they may just know the first one. They may say S, and then maybe they say K, and I say instead of a K, and they say C, and then I say start over. And then I will say, and then again, S, C, and then maybe they don't know the next one. And I'll say, listen, scrub. And then someone will say R, and then we start over. S-C-R-U-B. That's step 2. We're only going to do a couple of words. Maybe we'll do one more. Ot, ot, ot. Let's spell spot. S-P-O-T. Now we're finished with this, and we don't ever do it again. The exception to this is kindergarten, of course, where you might just start with steps 1 and 2 for a while. Many kindergarten teachers tell me that they like to wait to start any of this until halfway through the year, and then they start with steps 1 and 2 for a while before they introduce step 3. L-A-T. Beautiful. Let's spell drum. Drum. What's it start with? D. Now listen. Drum. R. Good. Spell drum. D-R-U-M. You are so ready for this. The main thing is to always start over every time you help them. Start over so that it's spelled correctly the last time. Step 3, we're going to introduce some endings. And the way I do this is I'll say S-E-D-I-N-G. Have you seen that at the end of a word? And they'll usually say yes. And then I'll say jumping. Who can hear the ing at the end of jumping? And they raise their hands. Jumped. Does ed sound like a t sometimes at the end of a word? Jumped. Who can hear the ed at the end of jumped? Who can hear the s at the end of jumps? And then I'll say, what does er say? If they know it, they'll tell me. If they don't, I'll tell them. If they say I'll say jumper or bigger. Who can hear the at the end of bigger? EST says, and they'll say est, biggest. Who can hear the est at the end of biggest? Y says E at the end of a word sometimes. Happy, puppy. Raise your hand if you can hear the Y at the end. It sounds like E, but it's a, and they say Y. L-E says ul. The E doesn't say anything. It just says ul. Everybody say ul. Bubble. Who can hear the ul at the end of bubble? So, on the first day, you're going to do steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, and 3 just to introduce it, and then 4 and 5, and then the next day 4 and 5, and the next day 4 and 5, and so on. It's just immersion for 5 to 7 minutes in steps 4 and 5. No teacher prep. The only prep you have to do is to shuffle the cards. Done. So step 4, we're going to start the same way as we did with step 2. We're going to say, I want you to say the magic rhyme 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Ag, ag, ag. Ot, ot, ot. It, it. Og, og, og. Ip, ip, ip. If we were going to spell the word slipper, raise your hand if you know which one of these endings is at the end of slipper. Now, whatever they say, you want to remain positive. Positive response is key to Rime Magic. So if they say ED, you say, very good guess. That would be slipped. And just tell them what it is. If they say this one, say, good, that would be slippy. You want your voice to sound like you mean it. And I want you to mean it. And that's because you're glad that they raised their hand. You're glad that they're participating. And it's going to help everybody when people make mistakes. So, as soon as somebody says ER, then you set this back on the ledge if you are working with a whole group, or down on the table if you're working with a small group. And you're ready like this with 2 fingers in front for the SL. And this hand is free. And you're pointing to the S before you cue them to start by saying slipper. S-L-I-P-P. Now the very first one you do, you're going to tell them that you're doubling the P. I don't tell them why. The reason I don't tell them why is because, first of all, they don't care why right now. And second of all, in steps 4 and 5, they're going to completely handle the short vowel double consonant concept. And they aren't going to try to double consonants when you get to step 6. So just tell them on the first word, we're going to double, we're going to make 2 P's, and then be done with that. So we're going to spell slipper. S-L-I-P-P, and then just put 2 fingers down for the ER and wait quietly for them to say slipper. ER. That's how simple that is. Basically, we're waiting for them to say the S and chiming in with them. Waiting for them to say the L, chiming in with them. If they don't say the L, then say, now listen, slipper, stretch it out, and then they will say L, and then start over, S-L-I-P-P, and then just wait for them to say ER. If they don't say ER, just wait, and they'll self-correct. Sometimes they'll look back at this, but they will self-correct. So it's wait, wait, don't wait, be quiet. Once again, wait, wait, don't wait, be quiet. Okay? So that's step 4. Then, you're going to then run through a bunch more rhymes and then spell a word every once in a while. So, app, app, app. Notice I'm going like this a little bit with my head. That's to keep everybody with me in unison. N, ib, ib, ib. If we were going to spell scribble, what would it end with? If they say this one, I say, very good, that would be scribbing. Who else has an idea? As soon as somebody says L-E, set it down. I'm ready like this. Scribble. S-C-R-I-B-B. Okay? That is step 4. Just do a bunch of rhymes, spell a word, do a bunch of rhymes, spell a word. You don't have to go through the whole deck because you're doing this for 5 minutes each time. So just remember to shuffle them every once in a while. And that's it. We want positive support for every attempt. Here is first grade on the very first day of Rime Magic that they'd never seen it before. I was demonstrating for the teacher. We did step 1, 2, 3, and here's 4. That would be wigging. That would be a good word, wouldn't it? Wigging. Does anybody else want to try? We want wiggle. Very good. Thank you. How about right here?
L-E.
Who thinks it's L-E? Wiggle. Wiggle. Very good. Very good. Let's spell wiggle. W-I-G-G-E-L-E. Very good. And what if we wanted to spell jiggle? J-I-G-G-L-E. Very good. Egg, egg, egg. Ib, ib, ib. Do it again. Mississippi. Ib, ib, ib. Very good. Hot, hot, hot. How about hottest? This was the hottest day, all summer. Not today, though. Hottest. Which ending do you think you would hear at the end of hottest? Hottest. What do you say?
S.
This one? I hear the S too. Very good. That would be hots. Hots. Very good guess. Who else? Hottest. What do you say?
Est.
This one? Who thinks it's this one?
Yep.
Hottest. Hottest. Very good. You can hear it. Okay. Here we go. Hottest. H-O-T-T-E-S-T. Very good. We're only going to do one or two more, and then we're going to do the really magic part. Shall we do that?
Yeah.
I think one of the secrets of Rime Magic is they're having to visualize the onset and visualize the extra consonant and visualize the ending, but the magic rhyme stands out in color. We want the magic rhyme to stand out when they look at a word. The rhyme stands out in color. And the magic is in the rhyme. Here is step 5 with first graders. This is the really magic part. You ready for the really magic part now?
Yeah!
Okay. I'm going to hold up a word, and I want you to see if you can find one of these magic rhymes in my word. It's going to be one of these, but I don't know which one it's going to be. One of those.
I'm going to do this.
Who can find it? Raise your hand. I don't want to know what the word is. I just want to know where's the magic rhyme. How about you?
ING.
Good. That would be one of our endings. ING is a very important part. Thank you. But where is one of these magic rhymes? Keep looking. How about you?
AN.
There it is. 1, 2, 3. And. What's this?
Planning.
I was planning to go to a party. 5. All you're really doing is you're asking them to find one of these magic rhymes in a word. Now at first, usually what they will do is they will immediately, you'll show them it's one of these, but they will immediately say L-E because they've been focusing so much on those endings. And so then I just pick up my endings card and I say, yes, very good, that's one of our endings. Who else has an idea? Where is the magic rhyme? And I want them to come to this on their own. I don't want to give them any clues. I don't want to say it's in the middle. I don't want to say it starts with a vowel. I don't want to say any of that. I just want them to keep trying. Sometimes they'll say SC, and I'll say, very good. SCR, covering all of the rest of it up, is the beginning of the word, and you're very close. If they say BB, then say, that is the extra B, and you are very close. If they say RI, they'll say all kinds of things at first, or they won't. Sometimes they go straight to it. If they say RI, I say, well, the R is part of the beginning of the word, and you are so close. And eventually, of course, someone will get to it. You know who gets to it first is the kids in special ed. Interesting. So as soon as somebody says IB, I cover up all but the IB, and I say 1, 2, 3, IB, 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 and then I let go of just my right hand until they say scrib, and then I let go of my left hand, and they will say scribble. Now that's the way it works with most kids. Kids who do have some kind of a processing issue, they will have trouble putting the onset with the rhyme. So they'll often take the end of the word and stick one of those letters in the front and so forth. So then you just help them through it. But the endings will be easy for them. Most kids, they're just going to go ib, 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 scrib, scribble, just like that. And then you do another one. where is it? And as soon as somebody says ugh or UG or ugh, 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 I just ugh, 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 and they say jug, and then they say juggle. Now, pretty soon, I start with these words that have just one ending. And then pretty soon you can start adding in the words with two endings. And then just mix them all together. What will happen is pretty soon they're going to be able to go. I'll say, where is it? And they'll say at right away. So pretty soon your class can go at. What's the word? Splattered. So, and then after a while they'll just go ip, slippery. And they'll just go through the deck like that. When they can say ugh, juggle, unrunning, scrub, when they can do that, you are finished with step 4 and 5. And you can go on to step 6. Some of you might be doing Zoom with your students. So I'm going to show you a video that I recorded with a first grader doing Zoom. At? If we were going to spell splatter, what would be at the end? Good. Let's spell splatter. Okay.
S-P-L-A-T-T-E-R.
Very good.
M.
And what's this?
Shimmer.
Shimmer. Was shimmering in the light. Where's the magic rhyme?
Up. Sloppy.
Perfect. Where's the magic rhyme?
Slimmest.
Good. And where's the rhyme?
M.
Okay. Where's the rhyme?
Spot.
Spotted. Like a spotted owl.
Spotted. Happy.
Where's the rhyme?
Settle.
Like we settle down. Beautiful. One more. Once your students have mastered steps 4 and 5, and they're really good at it, you can start step 6. The rest of the rhymes. The way we do the rest of the rhymes is the same way that we did steps 4 and 5, really. We're going to take the pack and of rhymes, and we're just going to have them say it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, ank, ank, ank. Now, when you start step 6, you don't have to ask them ahead of time what the ending is for your word, because they're really, really good at the endings by now. So you're going to use any endings you want, any suffix. So for example, ank, 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 let's spell thankful. T-H-A-N-K, and then wait for them to say F-U-L. If they don't know F-U-L, just tell them. They will learn all the suffixes really fast. All. Let's spell smallest. Just make sure you have an onset and an ending. S-M-A-L-L-E-S-T. So really simple. There is one thing, a couple of things I'll show you. 888. Let's spell skating. S-K-A-T, and then just go like this. And they're going to say, what? And you can say, why did I do that? And then you can talk about, you have to drop the E and add ing. ite. So there are plenty of words on the back. I should have mentioned that earlier. Plenty of words, so you don't have to be thinking up the words. And with step 6, make up your own words. With step 4 and 5, you want to stick to the words on the back of the cards. They're going to be always short vowel double consonant. But here you're going to have, well, one thing I just want to highlight is that these are short vowel double consonant all the time, so they're very regular. And this gives them the foundation, steps 4 and 5, the foundation, so that when they go to step 6, now you have short vowels, long vowels, diphthongs, everything. So when they go to this, they're ready for it because of that foundation. Okay, but just make up your own words, or use the words on the back. Just play. It's more about playing at this point. There is then when you do the words, where is it? And they're going to say all. What's this? Smallest. I usually let go all at once by this point because they're pretty good at it. Many of these are very regular, all, smallest. Sometimes, though, you're going to have a word that's going to look like at, even though it's really 8. So when you show them this one, you can just say, don't forget what used to be there before we put the ing, and they're all going to say that silent E. So it's ATE, and we go 8, and what's the word? So I'm going to show you some 4th graders who were reading at 1st grade level just because of word recognition, doing step 6. All. Let's spell smallest.
S-A-N-M.
Do it again.
S-M-A-L-L-E-S-T.
Very good. A little bit softer. Ow. Let's spell shower.
S-T.
Do you know what says S-H? Start again. S-H-O-W. E-R. Or. Let's spell snoring. S-N-O-R. Snoring. I-N-G. Why did I do that?
Because it can't fit E inside the ing.
If we add an ing, we have to drop the E. Let's spell
Old.
Colder.
C-O-L-D-E-R.
Excellent.
Selecting.
Let's try some words. I'm going to see if you can find some of these in my word.
Oh.
Here we go. What do you see in there? Raise your hand. Tanya?
Oak.
Yes. Only ock. Very good. Say it with me.
Ock.
What's this? Stockings. Good. Let's try another one. Where is it? You can find it. Let's see if you can find it. Mari.
A-C.
That's part of it.
A-C-K.
There it is. 1, 2, 3. Ack. What's this? Crackers. Okay. Who can find the magic rhyme in here? How about Mari?
A-C-K.
Says ack. What's this?
Crackling.
Ooh, that was good, and you saw the L. But did you know that L used to be L-E? But what happened?
I-N-G.
Exactly. Where is it? Tanya?
I-D.
Yes, but we'll say I-D-E but we also have ER. So they're sharing it, aren't they? They're sharing the E. So we're going to go I'd.
Spider.
That's how you spell spider. Who can find it? You want to try it yourself? You're almost ready to try. Good for you. That's okay. Mari,
A-N.
that's part of it.
A-N-K.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Ank,
Ank. What's this?
Blanket. Blanket.
Good. You're almost ready to try it. Tanya
I-N-K.
says
Ink.
ink. What's this?
Stinky.
Stinky.
The Y.
What about this one? Mari?
I-G.
That's part of it. That's one of our other rhymes, isn't it? Ig.
I-G-H.
And
T.
1, 2, 3.
Ite.
Slightly. One more. Tanya?
Full.
Full is our suffix. It's our ending. But
Oh.
where's the magic rhyme? Yeah?
O-Y-F.
Well, the F is part of the
Oh, yeah.
F-U-L ending.
O-Y.
O-Y. Good. 1, 2, 3.
Oi.
What's this?
Joyful.
Joyful. You three girls are joyful. Aside from the method, there are several key things that I think make Rime Magic work so well. One is definitely the positive reinforcement, the immersion rather than mastery. No frustration ever. Wait time, not calling on the first person whose hand is up. The pacing is a really big thing. When you first start, you just need a little practice because you want to be able to just go ip, let's spell. You want it to go at a nice pace. You'll get best results, highest engagement if you practice a lot first. But you'll become an expert at it really fast. Eye contact, just connecting with students. It's really highly scaffolded. High expectations for everyone, making it just a safe place. But I think the biggest thing probably is just the no frustration, positive reinforcement. We know that children are engaged when they experience success, and their confidence just goes right through the roof. Immersion for 5 minutes. That's all it takes. And then you want everybody to be reading. Lots and lots of reading. If this can be done with Lit Camp, that's an amazing possibility. With all the reading that's done in Lit Camp and the way that it's done, tying it with Rime Magic, you'll get, I predict, amazing results. So there's really, every day, it's step 4 and 5. When step 4 and 5 are mastered, then step 6. Step 7 is the power packs. For students who struggle with blending and letter confusion. This is the power pack box that comes with Rime Magic. It has a pack to go with each of the magic rhymes, the green ones. So there's an at pack and an ip pack and an ot pack. And all the words in it are words that have, the first one, all the words have at. The next one, all the words have ip. So the way that I do this is I just sit with one student at a time. This is great for upper grade students who have fallen far behind in word recognition. They will catch up really fast if they do Rime Magic and the Power Packs. If you can spend 5 minutes with a student as many times as possible, you can just make your way through the box, you'll get amazing results. So I just say to the students, say the magic rhyme and say the words, and I'll help you if you need any help. So I just set them down. They say sat, flat. If they say anything other than what it is, I help them with it. I go back to the at, then they say mat, match, matches. Help them as much as possible, and if you help them, put it behind. Then they look at the next word. They'll often say sometimes they'll say shrat. They'll take the R from the end and stick it in the beginning, and then you just go back here, help them, shat, shattered, put it behind. When it comes up again, which it will, they're going to do it again. They're going to say shrat, because in their brain, that's how they see it. So then you help them again, put it behind, and when it comes up again, they may still say shrat. But at one point, it's going to come up, the word is going to come up again, and they're going to go and they're going to catch themselves. And they're going to say shat. I get goosebumps every time that happens. We look at each other and say, whoa. Because what they've done is they've trained their own brain to stop taking the R and putting it in the front. It's amazing. And the same things they're going to come across the same issues in every one of the packs, whether it's ip or ot or at or ugh. The same issues will come up. And by the time they finish the box, they've trained their brain to not have those problems anymore. So when they get it completely right themselves, it slaps down on the table. When you have to help it all, it goes behind. And that's how the Power Packs work. There are downloads that you can get when you have the kit from the Scholastic website for the students to keep track. There are videos. There's a really good video about the Power Packs there. Also, we have reinforcement activities. There are several reinforcement activities. Here are some of them. Highlight the rhyme where they can reinforce with pencil and paper. Rhyme word spelling. Again, there are downloads that go with it that you can take down. What's my rhyme? Who's got the magic rhyme in swimming? Hold it up. The K1 students love stand-up rhymes. Who's got the magic rhyme in scribble? Sometimes you'll have a first grader who is really good at Rime Magic, but then when she reads in a book, she's not applying it. And that will happen at first, usually because they get overwhelmed by the amount of print on the page. And so then they forget all about Rime Magic. So what I do is I work with them one-on-one just a little bit. You could do this with a whole class. You can, let's say they're stuck on the word wiggly. Of course, I want them to read ahead first, so I encourage them to read ahead and see what would make sense. But if they're still stuck, I just say, what do you see in there? And they'll say, ig, wiggly. They'll get it right away. So they're just not used to looking at the words in that way. And a little bit of that goes a long way. There are a couple of poems sheets in the book, in the kit, where you can do the same thing. You can say, enjoy the poem and then say, but look at shimmer. What do you see in there? And just get them to see how it relates to their reading. And just lots and lots of reading. Lots and lots of reading. Because we know that the fluency comes from lots of reading. And so does the love of reading. we've come to the end of our tutorial. Thank you for being with me, and I hope you enjoy Rime Magic. I think you're going to see some really fast results for your students.